From demanding half of his life earnings for supporting him through his career, to wanting to leave him broke after he just started earning seven-figure payouts. Here's why Israel Adesanya is getting taken to court by his ex-GF. His former partner has staked her claim on half of his wealth. Yep, according to Charlotte Powdrell, she deserves half of Adesanya's life earnings. The 33-year-old MMA artist has just recently experienced what possibly was the happiest moment of his fighting career after losing to the same person, his arch-rival Alex Pereira, 3 times. He finally managed to end his 7-year-long reign over him in his 4th rematch at UFC 287. Ending the match with a powerful knockout, he put a stop to the Brazilian fighter's hat trick of winning streaks against him so far. Being the only guy to have ever knocked him out, Izzy was ecstatic over his win. In the interview after the fight, he emphasized how he'd never felt happiness like this before and stated that everyone needed to experience this level of joy at least once in their lifetime. However, he didn't get very long to bask in the glory of overcoming his rival. This surge of joy was short-lived for Izzy, as his personal life didn't mirror his professional success. Soon after, reports emerged that his ex-girlfriend was dragging him to court, claiming that she deserved compensation for the time she spent with him. The 2-time UFC middleweight champion has earned some major bank throughout his career and has headlined some of the promotion's biggest events throughout recent years. Thanks to his reign at the top, it's safe to say he has probably earned millions of dollars up until now. But according to Charlotte, she deserves at least half of his fortune for supporting him in the early days of his career. In the recent court proceedings initiated by Powdrell, she stated that the significant hand she played in his life entitles her to a portion of his assets. However, the fighter wasn't having it. He quickly rejected these claims and spoke about how the whole thing was absurd. I mean, someone from his past just swooping in and expecting to reap the benefits of his lifelong dedication and hard work. Where'd they get the audacity? As you might have guessed, Izzy wasn't going to roll over and do her bidding that easily. The New Zealander posted a series of social media posts regarding his take on the situation, and he was understandably enraged. His fans know that he doesn't like posting about his stuff on social media, so this was an instance where the guy broke character and went all out on his ex-girlfriend. He didn't hold back at all. Putting up several Instagram stories, he spoke up about the whole situation. According to MMA News, he said that she had never helped him make money. Instead, all she ever did was cost him his wealth. Calling her a brat, he stated that he hopes she'll lawyers up and comes for his assets, only so she could get what she deserves. He also mentioned that she loves being the victim, and that he wished he had let her drift away into a miserable existence. Damn. He also pushed her to go on with her campaign, and dared her to actually take action. I hope you try affect my businesses such as Puma with your weak threats. I dare you to start your stupid campaign. Your threats don't work here anymore. He even said that he thought she was pathetic along with some other very rude things. Easy to say that this turned ugly real fast. But then again, can you blame the 33-year-old here? His ex is claiming ownership of half of his life's earnings. He ended things off by saying that he didn't care about her anymore and wouldn't change a single thing. He was glad it happened. He didn't hate her. She just stopped being of value in his eyes. He also mentioned his current relationship, stating that he was glad to finally have someone who was confident in her own light and wasn't insecure of his success. Ending his take on the whole fiasco, he said, "This will be the last time you are hearing from me. My lawyers will be in touch." Talk about dramatic. The news first caught air when Sean O'Malley mentioned it on his podcast. The UFC bantamweight contender mentioned seeing Izzy tweet something regarding the situation, but he just got confused since he didn't know what was going down. He stated that the two weren't married, and although he doesn't know what their relationship was like, to want half of what he spent his career earning was ridiculous. Maybe it'd make sense if they were together for a long time, and since the beginning, she didn't work because she was busy taking care of him, making him food, massaging him, and doing all this stuff for him. But there was no way she deserved half of his money. In light of the dispute, the middleweight champion has confidently stated that his assets are well protected. The whole dispute falls parallel to the situation involving Paris Saint-Germain right back, Achraf Hakimi. The soccer star's wife demanded 10 million euros to settle the divorce, while he only offered her only 2 million. In a change of events, his wife discovered that the Moroccan's entire fortune was in his mother's name, and that completely changed the terms of any possible divorce settlement. Besides that, since Hakimi was technically the poorer one now, he could also place his claim on his wife's wealth. The man flipped the table. Heavily inspired by his thinking, Izzy mentioned he also took measures to ensure that his hard-earned wealth remained secure. He also praised Hakimi and found the scenario highly relatable to his situation and took to his Instagram story to taunt his ex-girlfriend in the same context. He boldly stated that she came into his life with nothing and was now trying to leave with millions. Imagine thinking you deserve half of what someone worked his whole life for. Now, with Powdrill taking a legal route in hopes of obtaining Adesanya's wealth, the conflict is getting heated. But this isn't the first time a divorce or a breakup has turned ugly. Take Tiger Woods, for example. The guy was the ultimate golf prodigy going on the Mike Douglas show. When at only 2 years old, he was hitting golf shots with a beautiful swing. From there on, he exceeded all expectations and became one of the best golfers of all time. His time from 2000 to 2009 was probably the best run any athlete has had in any sport. However, his fall came in 2010 when his wife caught him cheating with a couple of party girls, and film stars threw text messages and calls on his cell phone. It all went downhill from there. She chased after him with, ironically, a 9-iron, and he accidentally crashed their SUV into a tree. By the end of it, his ex-wife walked away with a settlement worth over $100 million. And that's not all. Woods' sponsors completely pulled back, and he nearly lost his livelihood. It's a bit of a stretch to say he went broke, but he definitely came close. Similarly, Emmanuel Eboui faced some rough times during his divorce settlement. The 39-year-old was a Ivorian former professional footballer who played as a right back. He was a part of the Ivory Coast squads at 5 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments and 2 FIFA World Cups. Eboui had 3 children with his former Belgian wife, Aurélie. But things were worse than they seemed. In December 2017, he told the Sunday Mirror that due to his divorce and bad investments under his former wife's control, he was left poor and homeless. As if that wasn't bad enough, the 39-year-old said the divorce nearly drove him to the brink of suicide. Allegedly, his wife took everything he had, which includes their 3 children, mansion, cars, and their first house, which he was also ordered by a court to surrender ownership. But what will happen if Adesanya loses the court proceedings? The New Zealander currently has a net worth of $4 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth, but it took him a long time to get here. According to Wealthy Gorilla, Izzy has been slowly building his net worth by the time he came to the UFC and started with modest payouts from his previous promotions. The real money only started flowing in once he joined the UFC. He started earning 6-figure checks and made around $500,000 during his first year with the company over only 4 fights. But according to him, his true breakout in terms of salary came when he took on Robert Whittaker at UFC 243 and received a hefty $1 million. Since then, Adesanya has built his way up to 7-figure payouts for fights against the likes of Paulo Costa, Jan Blachowicz, and Marvin Vettori. But if Charlotte takes the case to court and somehow manages to win, things will get ugly for the fighter. He'll be able to make up for it, since after his recent success against Pereira, he's bound to get more fights. But imagine one of your exes just taking away half of your fortune for absolutely nothing. I mean, I'd go feral. Not to mention, it's unfair since the two weren't even married or had children together. So, from wanting to leave him broke after he just started earning 7-figure payouts, to demanding half of his life earnings for supporting him through his career. That's why Israel Adesanya is getting taken to court by his ex-girlfriend.